Against our presses, we want to line up. Ron, you take the ball out of bounds. Jimmy, you and Sidney will play these spots. Chris, you play the 4 spot. Steve, you play the 5 spot as you always do. The biggest thing we got to understand is anytime we go out and play, we don't care who it is, we got to play up to our potential. Now let's go get them.
Ron Brewer, Marvin Delph, and Sidney Moncrief were teammates for 89 games at Arkansas before Al McGuire gave them the nickname by which they would forever be remembered: the Triplets. As the Triplets, they played only 3 games, but they were on the national stage of the NCAA Regional Finals and the Final Four. All 3 were 6'4", but they were very different players.
A 2-point Arkansas lead at 73-71. Here is Delph. A correction, Brewer drives, stroke. Arkansas has won it over the Texas Longhorns. 75-71. We talked to Larry Keith before the ball game, the man from Sports Illustrated. He said if Arkansas wins the game, look for them possibly to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated this week. So we're going to try to hold him to that promise if we possibly can, as Arkansas has come from 11 points down in the second half to knock off the Texas Longhorns by the score of 75-71 in a Cinderella finish here at Barnhill.
I'd say they were 3 great basketball players. Coach Sutton allowed me to practice against them. I had fun going against Ron Brewer most of the time, and he could jump so high, had the prettiest shot. Sidney Moncrief was just a workaholic, had great work ethic. And then Marvin, it's a shame he didn't have the 3-point line. There's always the joke about Marvin where he never passed up a shot.
Delph off the glass. 7-point Arkansas lead. Delph now with 14
points. Had a good recruiting year, and just recently I hired my second assistant, Gene Cady from Hutchinson Junior College, and of course I think now I have 2 of the finest assistant coaches in the country with Pat Foster and Gene, and we've already started on recruiting for next year, so we think things are looking up. We're still pushing forward on our new facility. We're not sure at this point where we'd like to renovate Barnhill or perhaps shoot for a new facility, and we've talked with the architect, and we hope to make a decision on that in the near future.
We yelled and screamed for more, and I bought a Jew.
Hey, Steve, don't let that ball go in the post so easy now.
Defense! It ended all too soon.
Eddie Sutton was the right coach at the right time at the right program. He came at a perfect time for Arkansas basketball. He did for Razorback basketball what Frank Boyles did for football. He united the state behind a sport that they'd enjoyed but never been passionate about, and he did it with in-state players. You know, his first team, he was fortunate. He had a couple transfers in, he had some holdovers, did very well with that team, won 17 games after they had not won the year before, and he built from there. But Sutton educated the populace as to his style of basketball. And it's interesting that even when he left, there were those that thought that's the only way you can win because Eddie Sutton had so educated them. The great thing was he did it with in-state players, 3 players that will always be remembered: Ron Brewer, Sidney Moncrief, and Marvin Delph. And of course Jim Counce was from Memphis, but that was very close. But those guys did a fantastic job during their time at Arkansas.
But Coach Sutton was a tremendous teacher. Did a great job with dedication, discipline, and defense. I'll never forget that. But we got so close, you know, it was so family. You know, he taught us about family. I still incorporate those things with our football team. the closeness, Jim Counce, Steve Stroud, Steve Shaw, Alan Zahn, all those guys, Lawson Pilgrim, we were so close and so together. It's so much fun. Gene Cady, Pat Foster, just great people. And there was a camaraderie, there was a togetherness, an unselfishness that just, well, it's easy to see why we won a championship.
A celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Celebration. We gon' celebrate and have a
Right
good
back
time.
at Ron Brewer, deep in the backcourt. He's used up his dribble. Now feeds it ahead to Counce. Into the full court comes to Delph. It's 3-on-2. Delph fakes, gets it into Moncrief. Slam dunk. Perfect pass by Marvin Delph and a slam dunk by Sidney Moncrief off the 3-on-2 break after breaking the press. 50-41 Arkansas. Outside right side. Williams jumper no good. Moncrief off of the rebound. To Counce. Counce back to Moncrief. Another slam dunk. Perfect pass by Counce. And Arkansas has busted it wide open. Second half. Weed in around the lane, intended for Moncrief. Tip in the air, recovered by Delph. Delph comes dribbling out on the left-hand side. He'll stop, jump, shoot, score!
Delph was the premier shooter. There's never been a Razorback with a prettier jump shot than Delph. Even in Eddie Sutton's disciplined system, Delph had the green light to shoot from nearly anywhere on the floor. He became Arkansas's career leading scorer as a senior. That record has been broken, but might not have been had the three-point field goal been in effect during his era. He had a career field goal percentage of 52.9%. Brewer was an octopus of a defender. A flick of his wrist could change possession from an opponent's to Arkansas's. He was a master of the steal and dunk. His field goal percentage of 56.6% was even better than Delph's. His ability to hit game-winning shots became legendary, especially after he defeated Notre Dame at the Final Four with a buzzer beater on the last shot of his career.
And Notre Dame has the basketball and can tie it at 69. Jackson tied up with 13 seconds left. Timeout with 10 seconds on the clock and the score at 69.
He's going to
5 seconds.
It's going to be a solo job by Brewer right there.
2, 1. There it is.
It's good.
They win it. He did it again, as he did quite often all season long. Ron Brewer wins it for Arkansas. What a tremendous way to win it.
Moncrief elevated the performance of the entire team. He was all about winning. 25 years after he played his last game as a Razorback, he is still the school's all-time career rebounding leader and the U of A's second leading career scorer.
On the sideline, looking, goes to Moncrief. Up the baseline, Sidney, slam dunk, and a blocking foul called on Brilliant. That brings Abe Lemons up. Moncrief.
He finished with an incredible four-year field goal percentage of 61.6%. However, the most important statistic to Sidney was wins. Arkansas won 102 games and 3 Southwest Conference championships and reached the Final Four and NCAA regional finals during his career. Eddie Sutton was the perfect maestro for the Triplets, Jim Counce, Steve Shaw, and the rest of the Hogs who put Arkansas basketball on the map. He believed in the 3 Ds: discipline, dedication, and defense. His teams played tenacious defense.
The amazing thing was Jim Rotkin had the crowd in the palm of his hand. You couldn't say no to him. He'd go running around that arena, and if there'd be one person still sitting, he'd stay right there when we got up. He'd be like this, like this, like this. You'd be humiliated not to. So by the time, and they always had it timed just right, that last note of the William Tell Overture wouldn't play until Jim Rotkin was back in front of the band again, and all 9,000 people would be on their feet, absolutely going hysterical. I'm not sure any basketball arena at any time, anywhere in America, ever had what Barnhill had while Jim Rotkin was there. As I think about those guys, they were teaching us lessons then, and they're still teaching us today with qualities that define them as human beings and basketball players. Sidney Moncrief was the greatest combination of ability and humility that I've ever been around in all the years at the University of Arkansas. He elevated the team to another level with his ability, played over his ability, and was very humble about it. Never wanted to take credit, only wanted to make the team better. He really taught us a lesson in humility, and he still teaches those lessons today, still a very humble person. Marvin Delph is probably the happiest human being I've ever known in my life. He had the joy of the Lord in his life even when he was in college, and he still got it today. Marvin's always got a smile on his face, always happy. He truly lives the abundant life. He showed us that when he was at Arkansas, and he still does today. Had a great jump shot too, but great characteristics, a happy, happy person. And then Ron Brewer taught us about perseverance then and still does today. Perseverance as a player, he was the king of the last second shot during his time at Arkansas. I remember one at Baylor that won a game. First time Arkansas had ever won at Texas Tech, he had a shot that broke a 38-all tie with 4 seconds to go. And then of course he hit that memorable shot at the end of the Notre Dame game in the consolation game at the Final Four. Persistence, play hard to the end, never give up. And he did the same thing in life. It took him a long time. He went to the NBA for several years, but then he came back, he got his degree at the University of Arkansas, and has a wonderful position there today because of the persistence he learned at Arkansas as a player and still displays to this day.
You're a shining star, no matter who you are, shining bright to see what you can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be.
It was really easy to see why they won that many games. I remember the Brazil trip was a great trip, and actually, Ron got sick, so I was able to play a little bit, got a few minutes in. But my job was to just be a good practice player. Besides being great basketball players, Sidney, Ron, Marvin, they were great guys. They great character, great integrity, worked extremely hard, and they would put the time in. But I tell you what, I loved watching these guys perform. I loved the way they worked. Just a great group, and I was just happy to be sitting on the bench with them.
Get away. Restless feeling really got a hold. I started searching for a better way, and I kept on looking for a sign in the middle of the night, but I couldn't see the light. No, I couldn't see the light. Kept on looking for a way to take me through the night. Couldn't get it right. I couldn't get it right.
The Hogs had gone 18 years without a trip to the NCAA tournament before his 1977 squad earned a spot in the big dance.
There's a shot for Shaw, and he hits it. 2 points. Zahn put it up, Shaw got it, put it up, no good, and now, out of nowhere, comes Moncrief to get 2, and he has 6 in the ball game, and thought they were going to get the call over there for 5 seconds. Here's Delph from 15. Marvin Delph.
Big turnaround right there. Look, they can get a basket, go up by 7. They're really going to put the pressure on Notre Dame. Oh, what a move.
Great move. Might have been the finest move I've seen in close by a man of his size. Arkansas's lead is cut to 2, and Notre Dame presses. Good job by Brewer. Brewer underneath to Zahn. Oh, nice bucket. Zahn didn't have much room, Gary.
No, he didn't. He just took it up strong.
Helping to spark the comeback for Notre Dame against Duke. Here's Bennett with the jumper. Good shooting by Chris Bennett.
The Razorbacks became an NCAA tournament regular after that, going in Sutton's final 9 seasons at Fayetteville.
Everyone's a winner, baby, that's the truth. That's the truth. Making love to you is such a thrill. Everyone's a winner, baby, that's no lie. That's no lie. You never fail to satisfy.
And the Hogs hadn't won much at basketball. When Eddie Sutton came, he taught them they could win at basketball. And Razorback fans became Razorback basketball fans, so much to the point that the arena had to be expanded. Sutton's 3rd year, Barnhill Arena went from 5,000 to 6,200. His 5th year, Sidney Moncrief's senior year, it went to 9,000, and I mean it was a fantastic place to play. I was telling somebody just the other day, Bud Walton Arena has over 19,000, but if you truly think about it, other than the first year, which was magical, Arkansas won the national championship, I'm not sure there have been many crowds that equaled just the mind-numbing noise that there was at Barnhill Arena. I can always remember being on the radio, I could tell how good the crowd was by how long the ring stayed in my ears after the game. Sometimes it wouldn't go away till the next morning. And Eddie Sutton built that. He built a theory that you could beat anybody, you could beat the best, and he had great teams at Arkansas. So statewide support was really built under Eddie Sutton. He had a marvelous plan, and to see that actually develop from where it was then to where it is today, remarkable. And those 3 players, plus Eddie Sutton, plus the other players of that era, deserve all the credit for it.
He's going
5 seconds.
It's going to be a solo job by Brewer right there.
2,
back.
1. There it is.
It's good.
They win it. He did it again, as he did quite often all season long. Ron Brewer wins it for Arkansas. What a tremendous way to win it. You knew that he was going to just wait. With 2 seconds left, he let it go, and there it was.
You could see it all the way what was going to happen. He was cool, coming up the floor. He was just going to go solo on it, one-on-one. And you could see that that shot was good from the time he let it go. It just had that.
Brewer, the senior from Fort Smith, Northside, wins it. He put it up with 2 seconds left to play. And Arkansas gains the third place title, 71-69 over Notre Dame. Arkansas ends its season with a brilliant 32-4 record.
Sutton, the Triplets, and their teammates won big and did it with class, establishing a legacy that still lives today.
Memories light the corners of my mind, misty watercolor memories of the way we were. The smiles we left behind, smiles we gave to one another for the way we were. Can it be that it was all so simple then, or has time rewritten every line? If we had the chance to do it all again, tell me could we? What's too painful to remember, we simply choose to forget. So it's the laughter we will remember whenever we remember the way